As a parent, you have the right to make an informed choice about VPK. You are encouraged to make an informed decision about your VPK provider. Eligible providers include family child care homes, private centers, public schools, and faith-based programs that meet VPK programmatic and quality standards. You can use the following methods to help with your decision. Visit the Department of Children and Families website, www.myflorida.com/childcare/provider, to obtain VPK profiles of each participating private provider and public school in your area. Contact the Early Learning Coalition that works within your community to implement early learning support services at www.flready.com and click on Coalitions, or by calling 1-866-357-3239. Request a copy of the profile of each VPK provider and school in your county from the local coalition. Contact your local child care resource and referral office to receive a customized list of VPK providers in your area that meet the needs of your family, as well as information about other community resources at 1-866-357-3239. As a parent, you have the right to select a VPK program that best meets your family's needs. VPK services vary based on the program selected. VPK providers have flexibility in structuring the hours per day and days per week to meet the required instructional hours. You are encouraged to find the program that best meets your family's needs. The VPK program is designed to offer 540 hours in the school year program or 300 hours in the summer program. Children may participate in the VPK program the summer immediately before the school year for which the child is eligible for kindergarten. As a parent, you have the right to enroll your child in a free, high-quality VPK program. Providers are not permitted to charge a registration fee or require you to agree to any additional services or care as a condition of the enrollment in the VPK program. The provider must also have an alternative activity for a child that does not attend a field trip. Review the VPK provider's discipline and attendance policies to become informed of program policies and practices. The VPK program you select should guarantee the following: an approved VPK program at no cost to you for the VPK instructional hours, participation in either the school year program or summer program, the choice of paying for extended day services or wraparound care if it is offered at the VPK provider you select. As a parent, you have the right to select a VPK provider that meets the standards required by DCF and local early learning coalitions. Consider visiting the Department of Children and Families website, www.myflorida.com/childcare, or calling your local coalition office to confirm that the program is eligible. Also, observe the classrooms to ensure they meet the requirements for group size. Each VPK program should meet the following requirements. VPK private providers must be licensed in the case of child care, family child care homes, or large family child care home, or exempt from licensure in the case of private school or faith-based providers, or they must be accredited by an approved accrediting association. VPK classroom ratios must be 1 instructor to every 11 children or 2 instructors per 20 children. VPK class size must not exceed 20 school children in the school year program, and VPK class size must not exceed 12 children in the summer program. As a parent, you have the right to select a VPK program that employs certified VPK instructors. VPK instructors must meet minimum education standards and minimum classroom requirements, including every lead VPK instructor must have a Child Development Associate for the school year program or a bachelor's degree or higher in certain education-related programs for the summer program. VPK private providers must have the VPK Director's Credential. As a parent, you have the right to select a VPK program that delivers quality instruction. The VPK curriculum must be developmentally appropriate and meet the VPK education standards approved by the State Board of Education. VPK programs should provide a curriculum that is developmentally appropriate with a focus on early literacy skills, a program that prepares your child to be ready for kindergarten based on the VPK standards adopted by the State Board of Education. As a parent and a Florida resident, you have the right to enroll your 4-year-old in a VPK program subject to the provider's or school's agreement to admit your child. The only residency requirement is that children live in Florida during the time they are attending a VPK program. This means that 4-year-old children living temporarily in Florida are eligible for services. This includes families that have a child with a disability or a special health care need. Most private VPK providers and all school district VPK providers are required to make their programs accessible to children with disabilities under the Americans with Disabilities Act and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. This also includes families that are in the military, temporarily based in Florida, and families that may be displaced due to hurricane or other natural disasters or are temporarily homeless. As a parent, you have the right to withdraw your child and to re-enroll or transfer your 4-year-old in another VPK program under specific conditions. If you have any questions about eligibility, contact your local Early Learning Coalition or the Agency for Workforce Innovation toll-free at 1-866-357-3239. Parents may transfer their child in another VPK program of the same program type, either school year or summer, under certain conditions, or re-enroll their child in summer VPK program due to an extreme hardship, as long as the child has completed less than 70% of a VPK program. As a parent, you have the right to know the VPK provider kindergarten readiness rate of the VPK program you select. The VPK provider kindergarten readiness rate measures how well a VPK provider prepares 4-year-olds to be ready for kindergarten based upon Florida's VPK education standards. Visit www.improvevpk.org to obtain VPK provider readiness rates. The VPK provider kindergarten readiness rates are calculated every year for each private or public school VPK provider, are based on the scores of children who attended VPK and who are screened upon entry into kindergarten, and serve as an additional piece of information that families may use to determine if a VPK program is best suited for their family. As a parent, you have the responsibility to provide date of birth verification. Parents must provide documentation to prove that their child meets the age requirements for VPK. A child must be 4 years of age on or before September 1 of the program year to be eligible for VPK. If you have any questions about age requirements for VPK, contact your Early Learning Coalition or the Agency for Workforce Innovation toll-free at 1-866-357-3239. Examples of supporting documents that show the child's name and date of birth are an original certified copy of the child's birth record, an original or certified copy of the child's certificate of baptism or other religious record accompanied by a sworn affidavit by the child's parent that the certificate is correct, a religious record of the child's birth that is accompanied by a sworn affidavit by the child's parent that the record is correct, a passport or certificate of arrival in the United States, an immunization record signed by a health officer or doctor, a valid military dependent identification card, or the parent may submit an affidavit of the child's age sworn to or affirmed by the parent, accompanied by a certificate of age reflecting the child's birth date signed by a public health officer or by a licensed practicing physician, which states that the physician has examined the child and believes that the age, as stated in the affidavit, is substantially correct. As a parent, you have the responsibility to verify your child's residency by presenting a copy of at least one of the following supporting documents that show the name and residential address of the parent with whom the child resides. Parents must provide documentation to prove that their child lives in Florida during the time they will be attending a VPK program. A child living in Florida is eligible for VPK with the proper documentation for eligibility. If you have any questions about residency requirements, contact your Early Learning Coalition or the Agency for Workforce Innovation toll-free at 1-866-357-3239. Examples of documentation include a utility bill, a pay stub, a government-issued document such as a driver's license. A parent may submit a sworn affidavit of the child's residential address if it is accompanied by a letter from a landlord which confirms that the child resides at the same address shown in the parent's affidavit. If a child's parent is a service member of the United States Armed Forces, the parent may provide a military order issued to the parent which shows that the parent will reside in Florida when the child attends the VPK program. For example, a permanent change of station order. Documentation of residency for a homeless child may be based on other documents, such as a letter from a homeless shelter or a sworn affidavit by the child's parent who certifies that the child is homeless. Some VPK providers may offer transportation services at a cost, and families are encouraged to explore these options before choosing a VPK provider. As a parent, you have the responsibility to comply with the VPK attendance and other program policies. Providers have individual policies related to attendance, discipline, and late fees. Parents are strongly encouraged to become familiar with the policies that apply to children in the VPK program before enrolling their child in the program.